Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're decoding some truly mind-bending ancient teachings from the Sutra on the adornment and purity of Mañjuśrī's Buddha land. We're going to unpack a text that takes basically everything you might think you know about spiritual progress and just flips it completely upside down. It's going to be a fun one. Okay, so let's dive right in. What we're looking at here is a title page from the Comprehensive Buddhist Electronic Text Archive, or CBETA for short. Now, this specific text was translated way back during the Western Jin Dynasty. And, while it might just look like your standard historical document, it actually holds this radical philosophical twist. It completely upends our traditional understanding of what it actually means to achieve a spiritual goal. It's a really fascinating journey, and we're going to break it all down together. To set the stage for all this, the Sutra immediately drops us into this massive, grand assembly at a place called Vulture Peak. The text describes a scene where the earth shakes 6 times, spontaneous music starts playing without a single instrument being touched, and get this, 4 different kinds of lotus flowers literally rain down from the sky. This is essentially the ancient text's way of flashing giant neon signs at us, basically saying, hey, pay attention, the Buddha's about to reveal something extraordinary.
And the audience for this revelation, absolutely staggering. Picture this epic scene. You've got over 100,000 monks plus 84,000 bodhisattvas all gathered together. That's 184,000 beings all assembled as the Buddha illuminates the 10 directions. So yeah, this isn't some intimate little fireside chat. We are talking about a full-blown cosmic event.
Section 1. Path to a Pure Land, the Rule Book. Now, to really appreciate the massive paradox that's coming up, we first need to take a quick look at the Buddha's standard rulebook for purifying a Buddha land. The traditional bodhisattva path, it is intense. It requires harboring boundless compassion for absolutely all beings, totally rejecting worldly attachments, guarding moral precepts without fail, and maintaining extreme discipline over countless lifetimes. Basically, the Buddha is outlining this rigorous, highly disciplined path of sustained effort that's required to achieve enlightenment. It is incredibly hard work.
Section 2. The Radical Paradox.
But just as we think we've got a handle on this heavy, step-by-step effort, boom, the narrative hits us with a spectacular philosophical twist. Another bodhisattva in the crowd turns to Mañjuśrī. And remember, Mañjuśrī is literally the very embodiment of supreme wisdom in the Buddhist tradition, and he asks him a seemingly simple question. When do you finally expect to achieve ultimate enlightenment?
Well, Mañjuśrī's response delivers a pretty shocking paradox. He explicitly states, I do not seek the Buddha path. He's not even trying to become a Buddha. He goes on to explain, because sentient beings cannot be found, there is no self to achieve it. I mean, just let that sink in for a second.
Obviously, this creates a profound intellectual mystery for the whole assembly. Why on earth is the ultimate teacher refusing to seek the ultimate goal? Every single other being in that massive crowd of 184,000 is striving, right? They're following the rules, they're pushing for enlightenment, and the absolute wisest one among them just effectively said, yeah, I'm not trying.
Section 3. Understanding emptiness.
So the absolutely crucial point here is how we actually resolve this mystery. Mañjuśrī brilliantly illustrates that traditional effort actually implies an illusion of self. Think about it. If you're striving to attain a goal, you are enforcing the idea that there's a solid you to get the reward, and a separate goal out there waiting to be captured. True reality, however, is recognizing that all things are fundamentally empty. There is no solid, unchanging self to attain anything at all.
And that brings us to shunyata, or emptiness. It's the concept that all forms and phenomena are essentially like empty space, lacking any independent, inherent existence. So by not striving for some imaginary goal, Mañjuśrī isn't just, being lazy. He is actually demonstrating the absolute highest realization of emptiness. If everything is already like empty space, trying to acquire enlightenment is kind of like trying to catch the wind in a net. It just doesn't make sense.
Section 4. The Ultimate Universe.
So what happens when a being with this limitless, totally effortless understanding creates a universe of their own? Because according to the text, Mañjuśrī will eventually generate a future realm, and he calls it a mind free from dust and defilement. It's this universe completely free of worldly attachments, governed by a logic that is as beautiful as it is, frankly, entirely alien to our normal way of thinking.
Let's actually look at how this works in practice with something as everyday as eating. In this incredible universe, you don't farm, you don't cook, perfect food just appears naturally right in your hand. But before you eat, The natural instinct, the very love of the land really, is that you first effortlessly offer it to all suffering beings everywhere in the cosmos. Only then do you eat. The highest form of spiritual practice is woven seamlessly into the daily, effortless sharing of nourishment. There's no forced discipline here, it's just the natural physics of a reality built on pure compassion. Now, to put the sheer magnitude of Mañjuśrī's achievement into perspective, the Buddha makes a really stunning comparison. In Buddhist tradition, Amitabha's Pure Land is incredibly famous for being magnificent and incredibly vast. But the Buddha says that compared to Mañjuśrī's universe, Amitabha's Pure Land is like a single drop of water resting on a split piece of hair, while Mañjuśrī's realm, that's the vast, endless ocean.
It leaves the assembly and us, really, with this awe-inspiring vision. The text says, "The wisdom and merit are as immeasurable and boundless as empty space itself." We're looking at a cosmos built entirely on the concept of limitless, unattached emptiness. By refusing to grasp at the goal, Mañjuśrī creates a reality that is infinitely larger than those who try to force their way to perfection. It's wild.
And I'll leave you with this final thought to ponder as we wrap up this explainer. If there is ultimately no self to achieve anything, who is it that's trying so hard in your life right now? Think about it. Keep questioning, keep learning, and I'll catch you in the next one.